on the ground or not? That's the question we'll ask. Shashi Tharoor and Prakash Javadekar will be my two special guests tonight. Also, who has the advantage as the bugle is sounded in the battleground state of Karnataka? All that and more in a moment, but first, as always, the 9 headlines at 9 tonight. Countdown to Karnataka election officially kicks off. Single-phase election to be held on the 10th of May. Results on the 13th. Former MP Rahul Gandhi to lead the Congress's charge in Karnataka with a Satyameva Jayate Yatra from Kolar, the same place where he made the Chor Modi comment in 2019. Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla reinstates Lakshadweep MP Mohammad Faisal's membership just hours before the Supreme Court was to take up his case. Kerala High Court had earlier stayed his conviction in a murder case. The opposition questions, why did the Speaker take so long? Fugitive Amritpal releases a video from his hideout, plays victim, calls for mobilization. Supreme Court slams hate speech, says hate speeches will go away only when politicians stop using religion in politics. Rajasthan High Court acquits all the accused in the deadly Jaipur serial blast of 2008 that had claimed 71 lives and left 180 injured. Namibian cheetah gives birth to 4 cubs at Madhya Pradesh's Kuno National Park 3 days after Sasha, one of the cheetahs, died due to kidney ailments. Russia's largest oil producer, Rosneft, inks a deal with India to substantially increase oil supplies. This as Russia reroutes traditional supply routes in Europe amidst the ongoing war. And artist Vivan Sundaram passes away at 79. He pioneered multidisciplinary art forms to reflect contemporary issues. What's breaking this evening is that Congress leader Rahul Gandhi will be kick-starting his post-disqualification campaign now with a rally in Karnataka called the Satyameva Jayate rally on the 5th of April from Kolar. Significantly, it was in Kolar where Rahul Gandhi made the Modi remark which led to his disqualification from Parliament. So Rahul Gandhi now, according to the Congress, will go back and begin his post-disqualification campaign from Kolar, where he had begun, where it had all started in a way with those remarks he made in 2019. Now, all of this is coming as the Congress is upping the ante against the centre with its democracy disqualified protest campaign. A day after Prime Minister Narendra Modi taunted the Congress and said that this was a Bhashtachari Bachao Andolan, Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge accused the Prime Minister of letting corrupt people escape the country. The BJP continues to demand an apology from Rahul Gandhi, saying he's insulted the OBC community. But can Rahul Gandhi garner sympathy at a time like this? That's going to be the question we'll raise. Take a look at our top story.
Mission 2024 turning into a battle of Modi versus Gandhis. The Congress has kick-started its month-long mass agitation, Jai Bharat Maha Satyagraha, to protest what it calls the murder of democracy. The Grand Old Party is milking the disqualification of Rahul Gandhi as an MP to garner sympathy of the Aam Aadmi. On Wednesday, the party's top leaders held a series of press conferences.
KPG बना के आप दूध का दूध पानी का पानी क्यों नहीं करना चाहते हो? पूछे ना मोदी जी को नुकसान है अगर कोई गलती नहीं की तो ना अडानी को नुकसान है नुकसान तब है जो कोई गलती की है और सच्चाई सामने आएगी.
The Narendra Modi government is fielding its top ministers to defend Rahul's disqualification.
Mindset of Mr. Rahul Gandhi is that he is entitled to rule this country. That is his mindset. That mindset makes him question every court. That mindset makes him question the institution of speaker. That mindset makes him question the very democratic setup that India has.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has taken the fight to the opposition camp by calling the newly forged opposition unity an attempt to protect the corrupt, provoking angry reactions from his rivals.
आप सब देख रहे हैं कुछ दलों ने मिलकर भ्रष्टाचारी बचाओ अभियान छेड़ा हुआ है। आज भ्रष्टाचार में लिप्त जितने भी चेहरे हैं वो सब एक साथ एक मंच पर आ रहे हैं।
भ्रष्टाचारी तो वो खुद है, एक लुटेरे लोगों को जो लोग भगोड़े हैं, यहाँ के पैसे लेके गए हैं, बैंक लूटे हैं, कर्जा यानी इंडस्ट्रीज के नाम पे, इन्वेस्टमेंट के नाम पे चंद लोग बैंकों से, LIC से पैसे उठाकर अपनी संपत्ति बढ़ा रहे हैं और चंद लोग तो भाग जा रहे हैं। उनके पीछे तो ये नहीं गिरे, उनको तो कुछ भी नहीं बोल रहे, उनके बारे में इंक्वायरी करने को तैयार नहीं।
Please be in our chair. Let us allow the...
The opposition is keeping the heat on in Parliament as well. For 3 days now, Congress leaders have been attending the House in black attire as they stalled proceedings demanding a JPC probe into the Adani share crisis.
Question number 401.
In a big show of opposition unity, TMC Supremo Mamata Banerjee is holding a 2-day dharna against the centre in Kolkata.
সংবিধান সম্বন্ধেও জ্ঞান দিচ্ছেন। ममता जी का हिम्मत है, अगर जरूरत पड़े तो PM का हाउस का पास में भी ममता जी बैठ सकते हैं।
Will Mission 2024 be Modi versus a unified opposition? Much could change in the coming months. Bureau Report, India Today.
Honorable Minister.
So how is this Rahul factor really playing out on the ground? That's the question we want to raise. I'm joined by two guests. First, Shashi Tharoor and then Prakash Javadekar. Let's go first to my first guest, Shashi Tharoor, senior Congress leader, now joins me, Member of Parliament from Thiruvananthapuram. Dr. Tharoor, is the Congress agitation against Rahul Gandhi's disqualification really gaining traction as you try and spread it nationwide, or is it simply failing to take off? Even in Wayanad, with due regard, sir, the fact is that we haven't seen that kind of public support, at least public protests, we haven't seen on Rahul Gandhi's disqualification. What does that suggest? Why is there an absence of any large-scale protest?
It suggests to me that perhaps, if you look at different places at different times, you get different impressions. I've been in Thiruvananthapuram, yesterday in Guruvayur, and I can tell you that the turnout has been exceptional in both places. Unfortunately, so exceptional that in Trivandrum we had some terrible police brutality as unarmed youth Congress activists out on the street shouting were assaulted brutally by the Kerala police with lathis and worse. They were beaten on heads and bodies, and even innocent passers-by got bruised from these attacks. So clearly, if nothing was happening, these things wouldn't be happening. I visited some of the victims in hospital. It's pretty grim stuff going on. But the truth is that there is a fair amount of traction that I can see, but I agree that it may not be evenly spread everywhere. Wayanad people and people generally across our country have fundamental issues of life, of employment, of income, of inflation to worry about. And therefore, it's not that they don't care, it's just that there are things they're trying to do to keep their own body and soul together. That's essentially the only difference that I see. I don't think it's a lack of traction. I think it's that naturally people have other things. It's the politically committed who are out there every single day. And that the Congress has been able to sustain that so far suggests that the Congress people, at least workers and supporters, are strongly mobilized. But
Dr. Tharoor, there has been an attempt by the Congress to evoke sympathy for Rahul Gandhi. I saw a social media campaign, Mere Ghar Aao Rahul Gandhi, because he's going to lose his government bungalow. There doesn't seem to be, though, on the ground, beyond the Congress cadres, the kind of widespread sympathy perhaps that maybe the Congress was hoping for. Rahul Gandhi doesn't seem to be an Indira Gandhi of the 70s who could go to a Chikmagalur, win her by-election after she lost her membership in 77. Do you agree that Rahul Gandhi is yet to evoke that wider sympathy outside your hardcore Congress cadres?
Rajdeep, I can only talk about what I see, and I've been in Kerala the whole of this week, and I can tell you that here there is tremendous public sympathy. So much so that I'm picking this up even from people who are not Congress sympathizers. There is a genuine perception that democracy is under threat here, because even people who don't really like Rahul Gandhi or want to vote for the Congress, when you ask them, is it good for democracy that the principal leader of the major opposition party is going to go to jail for 2 years and will not be able to raise his voice in parliament for 8? Is that good for democracy? And even people who say they voted for the BJP last time are saying, that's really not good. That's not what our democracy should be all about. That's what I'm hearing more and more. Public sympathy is there. Maybe not everybody who sympathizes publicly will come out on the street and brave the police lathis. But you know, the perception that this is about something even larger than an individual or a particular party, but is about saving our democracy, that perception is widespread in Kerala. Now, that's for Kerala that I can speak about, because that's where I am. If you're telling me that it's not where you are, then clearly there are different perceptions. But I have no doubt that this has gained a lot of traction, this message.
Okay, Kerala is not India, Dr. Tharoor, but let's look at what has been the central issue raised by Rahul Gandhi, the Adani issue. For the last 8 years, Dr. Tharoor, Rahul Gandhi has constantly called the Modi government and Adani Ambani ki sarkar, and yet you lost 2 elections badly in 2014 and 19. So what can be different in 2024 when once again Rahul Gandhi takes the Adani issue on the center stage? Is it that you are still not able to connect this Adani question or the claim that it's a scam to a politically, electorally viable weapon?
Look, let me speak personally. I'm not an official spokesman of the party, nor am I a strategist for the party who decides these things. But what I believe is in raising questions in the interest of accountability, but moving on to issues that touch the daily lives of my voters. And if I speak to them of issues like unemployment, inflation, lack of credible measures of governance, whether in Karnataka, in Kerala, of course, the governance is by the communists, but elsewhere, very, very frankly, the echoes I get back are very encouraging for the Congress and for other opposition parties. I once in Mumbai was in a room with 500 people, and I asked the question, how many of you, and these are middle-class people, I agree they're not the poorest of the poor, but nor are they some affluent elite 5-star hotel crowd. I said, how many of you have had your lives improved because of decisions or actions taken by this BJP government since 2014? And in that 500-strong crowd, one person raised her hand. One person. Now, that's the kind of impact that this government has to realize its policies have failed to have. Maybe in some villages where there were no toilets before, the fact that toilets have come will win them votes. But there's certainly in urban India, what I'm seeing, and amongst the middle class, is a terrible sense of alienation, now compounded with this latest development by a sense that democracy that they've taken for granted is under threat. You know, Rajdeep, I'll tell you, I spoke to a BJP supporter just a couple of days ago who said to me, you know, Mr. Modi is prime minister because of democracy. He was an OBC person. He said, you know, we OBCs and others have rights because of democracy. We can't accept that democracy should in any way be diluted, because democracy is what has given us what we value. Now, maybe he's an exceptionally thoughtful BJP voter, but that's the kind of message I'm picking up. And I think those are vulnerabilities we in the Congress can exploit.
But
the Rahul Gandhi issue is not just about one remark, one judgment, one sentence.
But are you in a way accepting, Dr. Tharoor, that the Congress cannot focus its narrative or debate only on the Adani issue? That you're going to have to localize your campaign. In states like Karnataka, if the Congress wants to get the traction, you can only get it if you localize a campaign, not by focusing on Gautam Adani. You'll have to connect to people's issues on the ground, which hasn't happened.
See, Rajdeep, I preface this by saying I'm not the party strategist, but common sense tells me that we can't contest elections on any one issue. We have to have multiple issues. I will certainly continue to raise the questions that Rahul Gandhi has been raising. I will also raise Rahul Gandhi's own situation and the undemocratic behavior of the government. But I will also raise unemployment, inflation, the extraordinarily poor governance, say, in Karnataka, where I'm hoping to appear next week. There's going to be questions and issues we will all have to raise across the board. In state assembly elections, there'll be a greater emphasis on local issues. When we come to 24, there'll have to be national issues. But there's got to be a palette of issues. No party, unless there is a major mahal, wins an election on one issue alone. This is not so far a one-issue election. It's a multiple issue election. It's an are you better off than you used to be election, in my view. And frankly, after 10 years of BJP rule, if you're not better off, why are you voting for them again? There's absolutely no reason to.
You know, the reason is the Prime Minister keeps saying that the Congress is a party of entitled Dennis out at the moment to protect one family versus his government, which he says is rooted to which is dedicated to rooting corruption and the welfare of the people. That has been the focus of the BJP. Do you believe that narrative will play out again in 2024? Kamdar versus Namdar. Is it all building again, once again, towards that?
I mean, this business about entitled Dennis is a bit amusing, coming from the beneficiary and architect of the biggest personality cult we have seen in this country since 1971. Have you ever seen, I mean, the way in which nowadays even BJP ministers can't answer questions in parliament without some ritual genuflection to their real leader? You could almost be in North Korea, Rajdeep. I mean, it's just astonishing, the personality cult that has been built around our Prime Minister. And for that Prime Minister to talk about somebody else being a Shahzada or being a dynast is frankly laughable, because nobody in any other party has the kind of personality cult built behind them that we've seen around Mr. Narendra Modi. I mean, I can respect individuals for what they accomplish, but I respect them also when they're accountable to the general public, not when they build themselves out and up into being larger than life figures who somehow have to be deified by their own party members. And listen, I talk to BJP people all the time, in parliament and outside it. It's not that I'm giving you a line that's merely the Congress party echo chamber, as some people might suggest. I always believe in politics, you appeal to people, not just from your own support group, as it were, but from across the spectrum. And I speak to people of various political persuasions, including the uncommitted, the neutral. And I think these perceptions, of which the Prime Minister and his party are blissfully unaware, also exist. And I think they should realize that, you know, there are a lot of Indians who, if they're not very keen on dynasty, are not very keen on a sort of Maoist or North Korean style personality cult either.
Now, that's the second time you've used a North Korean analogy, almost Shahzada versus Raja. But the Prime Minister said yesterday, Dr. Tharoor, that this is a coalition of the corrupt that is emerging around Rahul Gandhi and the opposition. The corrupt are trying in a way to protect. The corrupt is what was suggested by Prime Minister Modi, and are using Rahul Gandhi's disqualification to gang up against the BJP. And the people, he said, of the country will not accept such a corrupt grouping coming up. How do you respond to that?
Unfortunately, this is one charge, I'm afraid, that the Prime Minister has used too often. Corruption seems to be a convenient label to apply only to the opposition. All the inquiries, ED and CBI and enforcement, I mean, income tax, revenue intelligence, all of that is always targeting the opposition. 95% of ED investigations in the last few years have been against opposition MPs or business people supporting the opposition. Whereas every person against whom an inquiry is in process suddenly gets washed clean when he joins the BJP. It's become a cynical exercise. I'm afraid corruption is no longer a credible thing for the BJP to accuse anybody of, because they whitewash the corrupt routinely. They take on corrupt people shamelessly. In fact, they corrupt some people in order to take them on by their so-called Operation Lotus. In many states, they have bought MLAs who won on other parties' tickets and brought them over. Honestly, if there's any case of corrupt shielding the corrupt, it has to be the BJP and not the opposition. The opposition doesn't have the resources to do the kind of corruption that the government has been doing. It really is, I'm sorry to say, a futile charge. I don't think the public buys it anymore. They've seen that, unfortunately, on these matters, everyone appears to be tarnished. And I would say that, you know, we have also raised some very serious picture issues on what I would politely dub financial irregularity rather than corruption. And the Prime Minister has refrained from answering. So, you know, I think flinging these pointless charges about is not going to get anyone anywhere. I think it's important now to focus very, very clearly on issues. Karnataka, the people have had 5 years of bad governance, and it's time for the reckoning, which is why they're running a desperately Hindutva campaign, resurrecting everything from hijab to love jihad to Tipu Sultan, and even apparently ascribing to two fictional characters the credit for killing Tipu Sultan in order to get some community votes in that process. I mean, this is the kind of politics the BJP is resorting to. I think the people of Karnataka will not be fooled again.
Let's leave it there, Dr. Tharoor. You've given us where the Congress stands on Rahul Gandhi's disqualification campaign. Appreciate your joining us. Let's turn from there to the BJP's former minister and senior MP Prakash Javadekar, who I spoke to a short while ago. Listen in. And joining me now is the senior BJP MP, former Union Minister Prakash Javadekar joins me. Appreciate your joining us, Mr. Javadekar. The Congress is making one single point over the last few days. They claim Rahul Gandhi is being fixed by the Modi government because he has raised the Adani issue inside and outside Parliament, and that is embarrassing your leadership. That's why you have fixed him, is what the Congress claims.
Utterly rubbish. See, this disqualification is the result of the court verdict. He insulted OBC by calling them chore in 2019. The case continued for so many years, and now this is the court verdict by which he has got 2 years punishment. And Supreme Court decision of 2012 that anybody getting 2 years instantly he loses the membership. So that is why he is disqualified. There is no role of government at all. And let me tell you that
So
this was peculiarly, this was the ordinance which Manmohan Singh had brought and passed in the cabinet to nullify the Supreme Court judgment. He told it. So my basic question is to Congress, whom you are protesting against? Court, Supreme Court, or Rahul Gandhi? Because Rahul Gandhi told that ordinance. If that he would not have told, you would not got the relief.
Mr. Javadekar, however, the argument which the Congress is making is that this entire matter in Surat was fast forwarded only in the month of February after Rahul Gandhi raised the Adani issue in Parliament. The fact they claim that the BJP is unwilling to debate the Adani issue inside Parliament and now wants to fix Rahul Gandhi as a result. That's the charge, that the BJP doesn't want the Adani issue to be raised, and by disqualifying Rahul Gandhi, fast forwarding the court verdict, Rahul Gandhi is being made an example of.
No, this is absolutely again another rubbish, because people are raising whatever issues they want. In Parliament debate, there were 26 hours given for finance bill, appropriation bill, Jammu Kashmir bill, and discussions on various ministries. They could have utilized that, but they don't want, they want only disruption out of desperation. That is their problem. And what is the argument of Rahul Gandhi? That
no, but
I didn't have, court gave him opportunity, 1 minute, court gave him an opportunity to seek apology, and then he would have got relief. But he said, I don't apologize. And here also again he said, I am not apologizing, I am not Savarkar. You can't be Savarkar. Savarkar was such a great personality. Neither you are Savarkar, nor you are related to Mahatma Gandhi. What Savarkar and Gandhi you are talking about?
So you're saying they think the family is above the law. They maintain, why is the BJP unwilling to have even a discussion on the Adani issue in Parliament? That's the central point which is coming again and again. And all that has happened according to the Congress since then is only because Rahul Gandhi is leading the charge on Adani.
No.
Are you willing to have a full debate on the Adani issue in Parliament is what the Congress is asking.
1 minute. BJP has said it umpteen times, and Prime Minister himself, you can raise any issues in Parliament under the rules. And what are the rules? If you have to cast aspersion against any sitting member, you have to give prior notice. If you are making allegations about somebody who is not a member, you have to substantiate. Both these rules you will violate. So your speech gets expunged and still you say that we don't allow.
How do you respond? I had Mr. Chidambaram on the channel yesterday claiming this is an undeclared emergency, that anyone who raises his voice against the government is being silenced, and any political opponent is now facing the prospect of the law being used against them. How do you respond to what Mr. Chidambaram says, that there is an undeclared emergency?
The people who brought declared emergency are talking about undeclared emergency is the joke of the year. They should be ashamed of what they did to the constitution and the whole mechanism in 1975 to 77. And now it is and Supreme Court has given that decision, and Manmohan Singh government had decided about promulgating the ordinance, and he told it, and Manmohan Singh government backtracked. Now he is suffering because of that. So what can we do? And he is saying that I am not Savarkar and therefore I will not apologize. Is also not true, because in the Rafael case, when Supreme Court finally said you have to apologize or we'll give our decision, then he apologized in writing and in words. So
can I though ask you that the Congress, Mr. Javadekar, the Congress believes that all of this will work to their advantage. There is sympathy, they say, for Rahul Gandhi. He is being made a martyr, that the voters first in Karnataka next month and in other places will now support the Congress because they will get the impression that the BJP is only targeting the opposition. Do you think that Rahul Gandhi will get any sympathy?
Absolutely not, because you have to have some moral issue with you. And where is the moral issue? It is the personal ego, a super ego over law. That is what you want to say. It is a public cause. That doesn't happen.
One final question. There is a belief, of course, Meghalaya was won by Conrad Sangma, not by the BJP. But one final question, sir. Do you believe that the BJP is obsessed with Rahul Gandhi? You want to make 2024 Modi versus Rahul. All of this is designed in a way to make Rahul Gandhi the central focus. First you ask for his apology, then he gets disqualified. Now he has to leave his house in Delhi. You want Rahul Gandhi to remain in the headlines so that the battle of 2024 becomes Modi versus Rahul Gandhi. True or not?
This is absolutely rubbish. We are for people. I don't know who is opposing and who will be in opposition. I don't know. I know only one thing, that we stand for good governance. And let me once again give one reference. He had made 3 speeches in last 1 month. London, where he insulted the country and sought foreign intervention in a way. Then he made a parliament speech where he broke every parliamentary rule, and this 3rd speech for which he got punishment. And he is not alone. There are 32 MPs, 6 of BJP itself. But they were disqualified. Nobody raised voice against that.
Okay. Let's leave it there, Prakash Javadekar. I appreciate your joining us and giving us the perspective of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Thank you so much. So we've heard 2 sides of that big story. Rahul Gandhi, how will it play out? Well, the first test of that will come in May in Karnataka, because today the Election Commission announced assembly poll dates for Karnataka. Voting will be held on the 10th of May. Results will be announced on the 13th. The upcoming polls will see a 3-way battle: Congress, BJP and Devagowda and Kumaraswamy Janata Dal Secular. The Prime Minister has already visited Karnataka 7 times in the last 3 months to bolster the BJP campaign. The Congress relying possibly on local factors and strong local strongmen like DK Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah. Big question therefore now, what are the X factors that will decide Karnataka? Who has the advantage in the battle for Karnataka? Is the BJP still heavily dependent on the Modi factor? Is Rahul a factor in Karnataka? Is this now a do or die battle for the Congress? What I'm going to do is list out some X factors as we discuss Karnataka and its battle. Joining me now are Ganesh Karnik, He is BJP spokesperson for Karnataka. Aishwarya Mahadev is Congress spokesperson in Karnataka. R.K. Upadhyay, Bengaluru-based senior journalist. I'm going to go to each of you for the X factors. What will decide Karnataka? As I list them, Lingayat vote with the BJP, Dalits and a wider caste coalition coming to the Congress, and the Vokaligga vote with the JDS. Is caste going to decide Karnataka? Does Karnataka vote for caste first? Ganesh Karnik, why don't you start off, since you all are the ruling party of Karnataka?
Rajdeep, good evening and thanks for this first opportunity given to me, and my greetings to co-panelists. Well, people of Karnataka are waiting to ensure that the mistakes are not repeated. What happened in 2008 and 2018? We got 110 and we got 104. And they have realized what happened after that. So this time, I'm very sure with the kind of leadership Mr. Modi has provided during the past 3 months in going around the entire state, and Mr. Yediyurappa, who is our tallest leader in the state, having taken a pledge that I will not rest till I get BJP back to power on its own majority, and the kind of work we did during the COVID, 1.5 years of COVID time, and subsequently the record investment on capital expenditure in the state during the last 2.5, 3 years period, and the double engine government that we have seen functioning in Karnataka state will ensure that we'll cross the threshold of 113 and form the government on our own. We're all very, very positive about it.
You're saying basically that the BJP will do in 2023 what it's never done in Karnataka, get a majority on its own. You're talking about a double engine. I'll come to this double engine. But there is a double engine of sorts, Aishwarya Mahadev in the Congress as well. Mr. Siddaramaiah and Mr. D.K. Shivkumar. One of the X factors, can the Congress ensure that it is a united front on the ground in Karnataka? That's an X factor that the Congress faces. How do you respond? Is the Congress clear as to be able to fight unitedly this time?
Good evening, Rajdeep. I think it has been made very clear by the leadership at the center and the state that this election is going to be fought collectively and by leadership from all castes and communities across the board. Whether it is my leader D.K. Shivkumar or the CLP leader Siddaramaiah, I believe that they are very tall leaders in themselves. However, they are aided by several leaders of all other communities. It is a collective leadership. It is a collective plank. And that is going to be the X factor, especially when you look at the Nirani versus Bommai, Yediyurappa versus everybody else. And you know, the fact is Mr. Ganesh Karnik did not even mention his chief minister in this. He said Mr. Modi and Mr. Yediyurappa's name, which makes it very interesting. But Rajdeep, overall, I will tell you the X factor for the Congress today, besides the leadership, is the fact that the issues of the people, and you spoke about caste, the issues of the people in my state transcend all castes, whether it's the fact that they're plagued by 40% commission, or the fact that the aspirations of all these communities when it comes to reservations has not been met. I think the people of Karnataka decisively giving the Congress a mandate, an absolute majority, not only simple, an absolute majority is what is going to be something that you.
So you're saying, you're effectively saying that anti-incumbency will possibly decide Karnataka this time. Mr. Upadhyay, the first poll that has come out today, C-voter poll, shows a clear majority for the Congress, 120 plus, BJP 68 to 76 and the JDS 25 to 30. Do you agree? At the start of this race, history at the moment is with the Congress, because every government in Karnataka in the last 25 years has gone down in the subsequent elections. So it would indicate that this could be the Congress's turn.
Well, good evening, Rajdeep. Well, I think, what's happening is, as of today, I would still bet on a hung assembly with Congress being ahead of BJP. That looks like the scenario as of today. But, we are 42 days away from the elections and anything can happen.
Why do you say hung assembly? Why do you say, are you saying, and that's an X factor, that the JDS with its 18% vote, 30-35 seats could still hold the balance of power?
Yes, they're still capable of holding that balance, because in the old Mysore area, I think the battleground is going to be the old Mysore area, where both Congress and BJP have not done well. So that is where the JDS is still very strong. You remember last time they got 37 seats. Out of the 30 came from old Mysore areas, and BJP was able to secure only 26 out of 89 seats in the old Mysore area. So unless BJP is able to improve its performance in old Mysore area, and Congress is able to improve its performance across the state, because compared to 2014, they did badly in all the segments, whether it's Bombay Karnataka or Hyderabad Karnataka, Central Karnataka or Coastal Karnataka, they did badly compared to the previous elections. So Congress has to improve everywhere, whereas the BJP is concentrating on old Mysore area, and if they do well, I wouldn't be surprised if either Congress or BJP emerges as a single largest party.
Well, one of them has to emerge
And
as a single, but you're still saying it's a hung assembly. Captain Karnik, the first poll, as I said, puts the Congress way ahead. And when I speak to people on the ground, that's the impression I get. As of today, the Congress has already announced its list of candidates. They've got a national president, Dalit from Karnataka, Siddharamaiah, who's got a strong backward class and Muslim support base. And you've got Mr. D.K. Shivkumar with his resources and his Vocaliga base. Do you accept that this is one of the few elections where the BJP is playing catch-up at the moment? Even Yediyurappa, whom you mentioned, you have had to pull him out of virtual semi-retirement because you know that he is still your tallest leader. Let's be clear, Mr. Yediyurappa is not, till a few months ago, was in hibernation.
Rajdeep, I appreciate Aishwarya forgetting two prominent Dalit leaders, Karge, who is the national president of their party, and Parameshwara, who happens to be a person who has...
Minister, sir.
Yeah, I mentioned about the tremendous amount of development work done by the government. I forgot to mention the name of our chief minister. Keeping it aside, well, we will go to polls, and we are very, very certain that this double engine Sarkar, which you said you will talk to a little later, has done tremendous amount of work. In fact, entire country appreciates the kind of COVID time work that we did in this state. And subsequently, in spite of all odds, the development initiative that has taken place, and more than anything, the Vijay Sankalp Yatra in 4 different teams all over the state, and the kind of whirlwind tour taken by Honorable Prime Minister, you all have seen it on the television. Definitely, we are going to come back to power on our own strength.
So you're saying, you've mentioned Mr. Modi more than a couple of times, and Aishwarya, there is that factor. You've got Mr. Modi, 2019 Lok Sabha, the BJP won 26 out of 28 seats. And you've got Rahul Gandhi, who's embarking on a campaign from Kolar. Is the Congress now going to play the Rahul sympathy card, or are you going to focus on local issues? Because if you make it Rahul Gandhi versus Modi, as it was in 2019 Lok Sabha, it may be advantage BJP once again.
Rajdeep, the event that we want to have is basically the fact that this case that was filed in the Surat court happened after a speech that was made by Mr. Rahul Gandhi in Kolar. And we want to say you will come back there to speak the truth again, and that is symbolic. I do not believe that my party, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, is one of the tallest leaders for the Congress party. But I also think the Congress here, as much as, it's absolutely a strength and a boost in our arm by allowing... Hello?
Go ahead.
When Mr. Gandhi comes, because he resonates with the masses in Karnataka, the Karnataka Congress has also kept it to the issues. We have spoken about, just 2 examples. He spoke about COVID and the Vijay Sankalp Yatra. COVID, where 45,000 crores was unaccounted for. Vijay Sankalp Yatra, where in Mudigere, where in Madal Chappa's assembly, they wouldn't even allow the rally to happen. In some places, you saw empty chairs everywhere. The fact is, the BJP is trying to save a sinking ship that is nosediving into the depths of defeat. And for us, the Congress has a positive agenda. It is not only anti-incumbency. Rajdeep, ask anywhere on the ground, whether it's the 200 free units of electricity or the 2,000 for women or the Anna Bhagya or even the unemployment scheme that the Congress has given. We have a double, 2-pronged agenda. One is against the corruption which is eating into a prosperous state like Karnataka. And the second is us ushering in these guarantees to ensure a brighter future for the state.
you're saying you have a positive agenda. You're not relying on anti-incumbency. Interestingly, Ramakrishna Upadhyay, Karnataka is a state with what I call a large floating population of politicians. One in every of your 6 MLAs who won last time has won on more than one party. No other state has seen the kind of flux that we see in Karnataka. And a number of MLAs from the BJP MLCs apparently want to switch to the Congress, clearly showing which way the wind is blowing. Do you believe this floating population could well decide Karnataka's future, given that many of them are strong men and strong women in their own areas?
Now, I think, Rajdeep, that's the reason why Prime Minister Modi and Amit Shah have taken the lead in campaigning this time. And Bommai and Yediyurappa have taken the back seat. They realized that both in 2008 and 2018, when BJP crossed the 100 mark, they fell short of majority by 3 votes, 3 seats and then 9 seats respectively. So they had to resort to Operation Kamla, which led to a lot of inconvenience for the party and disastrous consequences. So this time they want to make sure that BJP on its own gets a majority, and that's the reason why they're going all out in entire state, campaigning on behalf of the party. And I wouldn't be surprised that, some of these issues that they've been raising, like the double engine issues, you see, a lot of funds have been pumped into Karnataka. As you've seen in the last 2 months, a lot of funds have been pumped in and a lot of projects have been brought in. You take Bangalore-Mysore highway, or the projects that have been given to Mandya, or Bhadra irrigation project. So all these are being given as, people are being told that you elect BJP and you will get good governance.
So you're saying that the project, you're saying the double engine factor could play a role. Aishwarya Madhav, I saw you raise your hand the moment he said Bangalore-Mysuru expressway. The fact is, Karnataka is increasingly urbanized. It's also split regionally between north and south. But will Bengaluru's 26 seats, for example, prove decisive? The sense that urban Karnataka, particularly with the BJP trying to polarize Hindu-Muslim, could become important.
Rajdeep, I think all sections, whether it is rural or urban, especially urban, the sort of urban apathy that you've seen of the BJP government, whether it's the potholes or whether the fact that my city was turned into Venice for a brief period of time when you had inclement weather and freak, rains in my city, you see that the BJP has done nothing. Their positive agenda, they talk about double engine, they say funding to the state. Rajdeep, look this up.
Potholes, with due regard, potholes didn't start only in after 2018. Potholes have existed in Karnataka's roads even before.
Let me just complete. More than, again, with the 40% commission that is going, more than 8 times has the High Court hauled up not only the Bommai government, but even Mr. Yediyurappa's government saying take action, and the governmental apathy is absolutely brutal. The other thing is, for all this idea of development, more than 45 to 48,000 crores earmarked for welfare schemes for the people of Karnataka went underutilized, and this is not me. This is literally the Vidhan Sauda Secretariat handing out this data. What development has happened? You are basically looking at a state that is run on commission. You have Madal Virupakshappa as a prime example of face of the pay BJP that seems to have become the plank for them. And it's not Congress, it is everybody talking about it, from seers of the communities they cater to school associations, to contractors associations, to even people providing cattle feed to the revered goshalas of the state.
Captain Karthik, you're saying you've also used the word double engine more than once. It almost seems as if Mr. Modi has to come at the last moment to rescue a faltering government. I mean, he's inaugurating everything from a railway platform to an expressway in the last 2 months. For 5 years, you all don't do, it seems to me this is the Indian double engine model. For 3-4 years, nothing happens. Suddenly, in the last 2 months, when your government appears to be losing, the Prime Minister has called in even to inaugurate a railway platform in Dharwad. Is that double engine?
Rajdeep, we were not there for 5 years. You must
4 years.
Correct your facts.
4 years.
And in during those 4 years, 1.5 years or 2 years was because of the COVID pandemic. And secondly, he came to inaugurate just not a platform. He came to inaugurate world's longest platform. You must understand that he has not come to inaugurate just another platform. And the second part
with due regard, the railway minister could do that.
Yeah, he could have done it, but it's an election time. We are going to work on our strength, and we'll put the best, vote catcher in the front. What is wrong in that?
Okay.
After all, we are going for elections. That's the one part. Secondly, Mr. Upadhyay was trying to mention few of the developmental activities that has happened in Karnataka, be it metro, be it helicopter unit, be it highways. You think of it, the amount of money that has been awarded for Karnataka in terms of quality infrastructure, it is unprecedented, and people have seen it.
Okay, so I will ask all three of you. I have only 1 minute. Ask you, what is your prediction? I'll start with you, Aishwarya, since you're raising your hand. What is your prediction? Become an Amit Shah-like cephalogist. Tell me how many seats. I heard Amit Shah today say it will be a clear majority for the BJP. What is your number?
I'm not a cephalogist, neither am I Amit Shah, thankfully. But what I can tell you from the pulse on the ground is that we are going to cross 130 absolutely easily.
So,
I'm extremely convinced.
Okay, so you're saying it will be back to 2013. Ramakrishna Upadhyay, what's your number?
Now, before telling the number,
number. I have very little time.
38 years ago, that the ruling party was returned to power in Karnataka. That was Ramakrishna Hegade's government.
That's right.
So after that, there has been no ruling party which has returned. So it is going to do a lot for BJP to come back to power. And as far as the number is concerned, I'll be there along with you, hopefully, at the time of counting. And like last time in 2018, let's talk about the numbers.
Okay, so you seem to be hinting once again towards a hung assembly. Ganesh Karnik, what's the number? Knowing BJP, they will say 225 out of 224, but give me a realistic number.
No, after 38 long years, Karnataka will record a history and we will form government on our own.
Okay, I'll leave it there. As you said, not since 1985, Ramakrishna Hegde as a government got repeated, so BJP is facing history against it, but the Congress, notoriously known to make self-goals at election time. We'll see how that plays out. I appreciate all my guests joining us. Karnataka, lovely state, not so lovely politics. Let's take a break. On the other side, we'll bring you our Good News Today story. You're watching the news today. News without the noise.
राहुल गांधी कोई भी सिक्योरिटी के बगैर गए, उन्होंने खुद कहा है कि देखिए मैंने लाल चौक में झंडा फहरा दिया। उनको ये मालूम नहीं है आपके समय में नहीं फहरा सकते थे, आज फहरा सकते हो, ये मोदी जी के कारण हुआ है।
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
Welcome back. You are with the news today. Let's turn to our Good News Today story. It comes from Bihar, where the daughter of an e-rickshaw driver bagged the 3rd rank in the Class 12 Commerce exams. Payal Kumari's father is the sole breadwinner in the family, but he didn't let that become a hurdle in his daughter's education. It's our Good News Today story.
अमीरों के पास कोई वजह नहीं होती है कि हम आगे बढ़े, लेकिन गरीबों के पास सबसे बड़ी वजह है कि वो गरीब है और उनको उनसे निकलने का प्रयत्न करने चाहिए सबसे ज्यादा।
Truer words were never spoken, one could say.
Payal Kumari did not see poverty as a drawback. It instead motivated her to work hard. She has scored 94% in class 12th and bagged the 3rd rank in commerce stream in Bihar.
इसका श्रेय किसको जाता है?
पेरेंट्स को, टीचर्स को, गॉड को और सबसे ज्यादा मेरी प्रमीला मैम को, जो मेरी प्राथमिक टीचर थी.
The biggest cheers goes to her father.
पापा ने हमेशा प्रयास किया है कि जो भी हम मांगते थे एक बार हमें मिल जाता था. कभी समय पे पैसा नहीं मिल पाता था तो फिर उसके बाद उनको किसी और से मांग के हमको देना पड़ता था. वो कभी भी ये नहीं देखते थे कि दिन हो रहा है या रात. जब भी उनको मौका मिलता था वो कोशिश करते ज्यादा से ज्यादा अर्न कर सके ताकि हमको जो है ना ज्यादा से ज्यादा फैसिलिटी प्रदान कर सके.
Payal's father is a e-rickshaw driver in Khagadia.
हमने अपने तरफ से पूरा सपोर्ट किया है और उसका नतीजा और उसके मेहनत का फल है जो कि आज बिहार में टॉप 3 पर आई है इंटरमीडिएट में कॉमर्स. अभी सपना बस यही था पढ़ाई का जो हम कड़ाकड़ यहाँ तक पहुँचे. आगे भी हम पढ़ाते रहेंगे.
This is where Payal lives with the parents, brother and sister. The lack of facilities has never deterred Payal.
आगे आप क्या बनना चाहती हैं?
आगे
सपना क्या है?
सपना तो IAS बनेंगे.
Payal has a long way to go before realizing her dream, but with her drive, she's bound to reach there. Bureau Report, India Today.
You know, one of the reasons I do Good News Today every day at the end of the program is to bring stories like that. That is the real India. It's an aspirational India. This is the most mobile country in the world. And these are the stories that will take India to new heights. Girls like Payal or women like Payal and many others. I want to leave you with some nice good news for a day. One of the Namibian cheetahs that has been translocated to the Kuno National Park in Madhya Pradesh has today given birth to 4 cubs. 3-year-old female cheetah, Siaya, gave birth to 4 cubs 5 days ago. The cubs are safe in a pre-release enclosure. Remember, a couple of days ago, one of the cheetahs passed away. But that is the story of life. And therefore, there is always renewal. You stay well, stay safe. Good night, Shubhratri. Have a good Ram Navami tomorrow. Bye for now.
Gear up to see Lady Gaga as an actor on screen once again. The singer was spotted rocking a Harley Quinn outfit as she's filming for the upcoming sequel to Joker. The pop star was seen in full costume and makeup while filming in New York City. In the photos, Lady Gaga is seen surrounded by a large crowd as she descends the court building with the police officers by her side. She's also seen rocking a red coat, a white blouse and a black skirt as onlookers come out in support with signboards that read "Free Joker" and "Joker Marry Me." The Oscar winner, who is all set to play an ardent admirer of the Batman villain, was seen flaunting her blonde hair, which was pulled back into a half ponytail with her dark roots clearly showing. She started to appear as if she wasn't wearing any makeup. Coming to her ensemble, she was seen donning a black foxfire jacket, black stockings and a printed dress. Filmmaker Todd Phillips also shared a picture of Phoenix's Joker coming face to face with Gaga's character. She's even holding his face, implying an intense moment between the two. For the unversed, the pop star and actress confirmed her playing a role in the Joker sequel in August 2022. She posted a teaser clip on her Instagram featuring Phoenix and Gaga's silhouette dancing together. The Joker sequel will also feature Catherine Keener, Brendan Gleeson, and Zazie Beetz and is all set to schedule to release in theatres on October 4th, 2024. Entertainment Bureau, India Today.
at one of our conclaves and it stuck with me. कुछ बनने का नहीं, कुछ करने का सोचो. Since